Hello friends, welcome all of you. In previous lecture, we started the second topic of physics, that is mechanical properties of fluids. We saw some points in the previous lecture. So in today's video, we discuss the new points of this topic. So let's see the first contents of the today's lecture. That means the points. The first point of the today's lecture is pressure due to liquid column. Second point we discuss in the today's lecture, it is the atmospheric pressure. Third point, absolute pressure. And fourth point is the gauge pressure. Remember pronunciation, it is the gauge pressure, not the gauge pressure. So these are the 4 points: pressure due to liquid column, atmospheric pressure, absolute pressure and the gauge pressure. So let's see the first point. First point of the today's lecture, it is the pressure due to liquid column. Let's see the figure. In this figure, a vessel is filled with a liquid and imaginary cylinder is inside the container having the height h and base area, it is the capital A. So we calculate the pressure exerted by this imaginary cylinder inside the container. So let's see. An imaginary cylinder of cross-sectional area capital A inside the container. So in this container, the density, that means the fluid, rho, it is the density of the fluid, h, it is the height of the imaginary cylinder. Liquid column, that means this imaginary cylinder having the liquid column exerts the force, that means its weight, F is equals to m into the g in terms of the weight on the bottom of the cylinder. This weight acts in the downward direction. So we can calculate the formula. The force acts in the downward direction. We know that the pressure formula, P is equals to F divided by the capital A. So F in terms of the weight, that means P is equals to m into small g divided by the capital A. As we know that the density formula, density is equals to mass divided by the volume. So outside taking the mass term, we have to get density into the volume, that means volume of cylinder into the density of the given liquid. So mass as it is, volume in terms of area into the height, that means AH into the density, that means the symbolically it is the rho. So putting the values in the equation, we have to get P is equals to H AH rho into G divided by the capital A. So area term gets cancelled. We have to get the pressure equation, that is P is equals to simply H rho into the G. That means pressure does not depend on the area of the imaginary cylinder. That means the term area is absent in this equation. So pressure does not depend on the area. So let's see next point. Next point is the atmospheric pressure. So let's see the image of the earth first. This is the earth image, and outside the earth it is atmosphere, and black color it is the vacuum. Earth's surface is covered with a layer of atmosphere with more than 99% of the atmosphere lying within the 31 kilometer of the surface. Again see this image. Earth's environment is made up of a fluid, that means it is the air. So it exerts the downward force due to its the weight. The pressure due to this force, it is called as the atmospheric pressure. And atmospheric pressure, it is the highest at the earth, that is at the sea level. Remember, atmospheric pressure is highest at the sea level, that means at the surface of the earth. So the atmospheric pressure at the sea level, it is called as the normal atmospheric pressure. Remember, atmospheric pressure at sea level, it is called as the normal atmospheric pressure. The density of the air in the atmosphere decreases with increase in the height, and that becomes negligible beyond a height of about 8 km. Remember, density of air decreases with increase in the height and negligible at height about the 8 km. Remember this point as per your entrance exam. So let's see what is meant by the vacuum. The vacuum, that means the region where gas pressure is less than the atmospheric pressure. It is called as the vacuum. So we calculate the formula for this atmospheric pressure. Consider again a container filled with a fluid, an imaginary container having the uppermost area having the pressure P1, lowermost P2, force F1 which acts vertically downward, and force F2 which acts vertically upward. So consider tank filled with water. Assume an imaginary cylinder of horizontal base area capital A and height, that means x1 minus x2. This height increases upwards, that means x1 is greater than the x2. So we calculate. So here first we see the forces acting on the cylinder, that means vertical forces acting on the cylinder, that is F1 acts downwards and is due to the weight of the water column above the cylinder. F2 which acts upwards and is due to the water below the cylinder. And here the gravitational force on the water is enclosed in the cylinder, that means the weight which is equals to m into the small g. So here, as the water is in static equilibrium, that means at rest position, the forces on the cylinder are balanced. So we get the formula F2 is equals to F1 plus this downward force, that means the gravitational force. F2 is equals to F1 plus m into the small g. So as we know that the pressure's formula, force divided by the area. So outside taking the force term, we have to get pressure into the area. This is the basic formula. So for the first, F1 is equals to P1 into the capital A, and for the second, F2 is equals to P2 into the capital A. As we know that density is equals to mass divided by the volume. So mass is equals to density into volume. So we know that mass is equals to density, that means rho as it is, volume in terms of area into the height, that is area as A, and height it is the x1 minus x2. So formula becomes m is equals to rho into the capital A into x1 minus x2. So in previous slide we have the equation F2 is equals to F1 plus mg. So putting this value, that means F1, F2 and m in this equation, we get P2 into capital A is equals to P1A plus rho A into the G into the bracket x1 minus x2. So simplifying this equation, we get the final equation P2 is equals to P1 plus rho into the small g x1 minus x2. So this equation can be used to find the pressure inside a liquid and also the atmospheric pressure. Remember, this equation is very important. P2 is equals to P1 plus rho into the G x1 minus x2. Let's see the next point. Absolute pressure. So here we find out the pressure P at depth h below the liquid surface. Consider here also a container filled with a liquid, but here imaginary cylinder is at the top of the liquid surface. Top of an imaginary cylinder at the surface of the liquid, this level indicated it as the x1. Let x2 be some point at depth h below the surface. So let P0 be the atmospheric pressure at surface x1. Here P0 it is the atmospheric pressure acting on the surface, that means x1. So we have to get some quantity, that is x1 is equals to 0, P1 is equals to P0, that means the atmospheric pressure, x2 is equals to minus h, and P2 is equals to simply small p. So in previous slide, we know that the equation, that means P2 is equals to P1 plus rho into small g x1 minus x2. So putting these term or these values in the equation, we get new form of the equation, that is P is equals to P0 plus H rho into the small g. So this equation gives the total pressure or absolute pressure P at depth h below the surface of the liquid. So this is the total pressure, that it is the sum of P0 plus H rho into the g. That means P0, it is the pressure due to the atmosphere which acts on the surface of the liquid, and H rho g, that means pressure due to the liquid at depth small h. So this is the absolute pressure formula. P is equals to P0 plus H rho into the small g. So let's see definition of this. We know that the formula P is equals to P0 plus H rho into the g. From this we define the absolute pressure, that means the total pressure at a point in a fluid equaling the sum of, that means addition of atmospheric pressure and the gauge pressure. And from this we simplify this equation, we get P minus P0 is equals to H rho into the small g. That means H rho g, it is the gauge pressure, that is, it is the difference between absolute pressure and the atmospheric pressure. So it is called as the gauge pressure. Remember these two definition, absolute pressure and the gauge pressure, and in terms of the equation. So in terms of the chart or in terms of the graph, the simplest way is that the absolute pressure uses absolute zero at its the 0 point, while the gauge pressure uses atmospheric pressure at its the 0 point. So from this graph we see clearly absolute pressure, it is the addition of gauge pressure and the atmospheric pressure, and gauge pressure, it is the difference between or the minus between absolute pressure and the atmospheric pressure. Again simplifying this chart, here absolute pressure, gauge pressure and the atmospheric pressure. So from this we see one example of this. Find the pressure 200 meter below the surface of the ocean if the pressure on the free surface of liquid is 1 atmosphere. The density of seawater given, it is the 1060 kilogram per meter cube. So this one is the example which is 2 marks asked in the board exam. So from this example given data, it is the h, that means height 200 meter, density rho, it is the 1060 kilogram per meter cube, and atmospheric pressure 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal, and acceleration due to gravity having the value 9.8 meter per second square. So here in this example we find out the absolute pressure. So we know that the formula for the absolute pressure, it is the P is equals to P0 plus H rho into the small g. So this one is the formula. So putting these values in the equation, we get solution. It is the first right formula. P is equals to P0 plus H rho g. Putting the values of the atmospheric pressure, that means 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 plus height, that means 200 into density 1060 into the 9.8. So as per our basic mathematics, first we solve the bracket, we get the answer. Pressure at is the atmospheric pressure as it is the 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 plus solving this bracket we have to get 20.776 into 10 raised to 5. Adding this term we get the final answer of the absolute pressure, it is the 21.789 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. So this is the 2 marks problem asked in the board exam also. So from this lecture today's we highlight some points. Remember these points for your various entrance exam, as we know that pressure having the formula H rho into the small g, the pressure exerted by a fluid at rest is independent of shape and size of the container. Does not depend on the shape and size of the container. And second highlight point, it is the P is equals to H rho into small g is true for liquids as well as for the gases. Remember, pressure is true for liquids as well as for the gases. So friends, today we see some important points of this topic. One example also we have seen, and this one is the highlight point which is used in the various entrance CET exam. So friends, today we will stop here. In the next video we see the new points of this topic.